How often would he beat you?
Too much.
Part 1: The Boy Who Never Had a Childhood. Imagine an 8-year-old boy standing late at night in a dim basement, practicing his dance moves until his legs ache. His father, stern and unyielding, sits nearby, watching every step with a critical eye. One wrong move, and the belt is already in his hand. That boy was Michael Jackson, the future king of pop. But back then, during the shadowed days of his childhood, he was just a little kid dreaming of simple things, playing outside, feeling the warmth of his mother's embrace, just being a child. Michael was born on August 29, 1958, in Gary, Indiana. His family lived in a small house where 9 children shared 2 bedrooms. His father, Joseph Jackson, worked at a steel mill, while his mother, Catherine, took care of the home. But Joseph had a different dream: to make his children stars. And for that, he spared no harsh measures. Michael was the 8th child in the family, and by the age of 5, he had already become part of the family band, the Jackson 5. But behind the bright performances lay a harsh reality. Joseph tolerated no weakness. Rehearsals lasted several hours a day, and mistakes were met with physical punishment. I was afraid of him. All I wanted was his love, but he only loved discipline, Michael later admitted. Despite everything, his talent was undeniable. When Michael stepped onto the stage, audiences couldn't take their eyes off him. His voice, filled with emotion, and his natural charisma quickly made him the central figure of the Jackson 5. In 1969, the group signed a contract with the legendary Motown label, and their first single, "I Want You Back," immediately topped the charts. On stage, Michael was bright and unstoppable, but inside, he was a lonely boy who had lost his childhood. "I didn't know what it was like to play with friends. My life was the stage," he later said. His days were scheduled down to the minute: rehearsals, recording sessions, performances. Every smile in public hid pain and exhaustion. Yet, that very pain became his driving force. In 1971, at just 13 years old, Michael began his solo career. His first hit, "Got to Be There," was only the beginning. He already knew he wanted more than to just be part of a group. He wanted to create something greater. And though he was still a child at the time, an adult dream burned within him: to become the greatest entertainer in the world. But at what cost? He lost his childhood. And that loss left a mark on him forever. Part 2: The Moonwalk and the Shadow of Loneliness. By the 1980s, Michael Jackson had transformed from a talented teenager into a global sensation. But with unimaginable fame came new challenges. In 1982, he released the album Thriller, a record that changed the course of music history. It wasn't just an album, it was an explosion. The music video for Thriller revolutionized the industry. Its 14-minute, horror-inspired storyline combined with groundbreaking choreography set a new standard for music videos. But it was another performance that made history. In 1983, during the Motown 25 special, Michael debuted his iconic moonwalk, a move that left the entire world in awe. Yet, even at the height of his fame, Michael remained lonely. The world saw his dazzling persona, but few understood the man behind the mask, a man still wrestling with the scars of his childhood trauma. His appearance began to change, his skin grew lighter, and his facial features became more delicate. Rumors about plastic surgery and vitiligo flooded the media. "People judge me without knowing what I've been through," he said with sadness in one interview. But despite the gossip and criticism, Michael kept creating. His music inspired millions, and his performances became otherworldly spectacles. But how long can you wear a mask while hiding your true self? Part 3: Loneliness in the Spotlight. By the late 1980s, Michael Jackson was no longer just an artist. He was a global phenomenon who had changed the world. But behind the facade of immense fame lay a profound inner struggle. Despite his countless awards, immense popularity, and the title of the King of Pop, he felt increasingly isolated. Fame had brought him not only the love of millions but also the relentless gaze of tabloids eager to exploit every rumor about his life. One of the most painful topics for Michael was the change in his appearance. By the late 80s, his skin was noticeably lighter, sparking endless theories, ranging from plastic surgery to claims that he wanted to deny his racial identity. In reality, Michael suffered from vitiligo, a condition causing loss of skin pigmentation. Yet, most people refuse to believe the truth. "I can't control this disease. But people only see what they want to see," he confessed in a rare interview. Fame became a prison. Michael could hardly appear in public without disguise. The lack of privacy and the crushing loneliness took a toll on his mental health. In response, he created his perfect sanctuary, Neverland Ranch. Among the amusement park rides and exotic animals, he tried to reclaim the childhood that had been stolen from him. But even in Neverland, he could not escape the shadow of scandal. In 1993, Michael faced his first major public crisis, allegations of child molestation. For a man who had dedicated his life to helping children, these accusations were devastating. Although there was no formal evidence and the case was settled out of court, his reputation suffered irreparable damage. "People don't understand what it's like to be falsely accused of the worst things," he tearfully told Oprah Winfrey during a rare television interview. For the first time, he publicly admitted to the abuse he had endured from his father and the pain he had carried throughout his life. His voice trembled, but he wanted the world to see the real Michael, a vulnerable, lonely man who longed for love and understanding. Yet, even amid these dark times, Michael continued to create. His 1991 album, Dangerous, was another masterpiece, and his humanitarian projects like Heal the World reflected his genuine desire to make the world a better place. But at what cost? Beneath the dazzling spotlight was a man still searching for his place in the world. Part 4. The Fall from the Top. After the 1993 scandal, Michael Jackson struggled to rebuild his life and career, but the world was no longer the same. Despite the pain and disappointment, he kept working, releasing the album History, Past, Present and Future, Buckeye, in 1995. It wasn't just a collection of hits, it was a confession from a man battling against the world. One of the album's most powerful tracks, Scream, a duet with his sister Janet Jackson, was a direct response to the relentless media attacks. In the futuristic music video, Michael literally screamed against the injustice and pressure that surrounded him. Yet, even with global hits like Earth Song, a haunting anthem about protecting the planet, he could not regain the peace he had lost. His mental and physical health began to decline. Insomnia, constant stress, and the pressure to protect his legacy pushed him to seek relief in painkillers. His dependence on medication became a shadow, slowly draining his strength. A new blow came in 2003. The documentary, Living with Michael Jackson, gave the world a glimpse into his private life at Neverland Ranch. Some scenes reignited suspicions, and once again, accusations followed. This time, the case went to trial. In 2005, Michael was formally charged with child molestation. Though the jury found him not guilty on all counts, the trial left his reputation shattered. The legal battle broke him. After his acquittal, Michael left Neverland, the sanctuary he had once called home. Feeling betrayed and exhausted, he left the United States, seeking solitude abroad. But no matter how far he traveled, he couldn't escape the haunting weight of public scrutiny, or his inner demons. Still, he dreamed of a comeback. In 2009, he announced This Is It, a series of concerts meant to mark his return to the stage. The rehearsals were grueling, but he pushed himself, determined to prove, to the world and to himself, that he could still shine. "I feel like this is my last chance," he confided to those closest to him. But that chance never came. On June 25, 2009, the world was shocked by the news. Michael Jackson had died at age 50 from an overdose of propofol, a powerful anesthetic he used to battle chronic insomnia. His death sent waves of grief across the globe. Fans wept in the streets, workplaces paused, and tributes poured in for the man who had given the world his music, his soul, and his vulnerability. But the deepest sorrow came from the truth that, even at the end, Michael Jackson remained alone in his struggle. Part 5. A legacy that will never fade. Michael Jackson may have left this world, but his impact on global culture remains eternal. After his passing, album sales skyrocketed, millions of people returned to his music, as if searching for a piece of the magic he had given the world. His dance moves, especially the iconic moonwalk, became timeless symbols of innovation and perfection. His Thriller album remains the best-selling record in music history, breaking every conceivable record. But his legacy is about more than just music. Michael was driven by a desire to make the world a better place. His charitable work was unprecedented. He donated over $300 million to support children, the sick, and the needy. Songs like Heal the World and Man in the Mirror became powerful calls for kindness and humanity, messages that continue to resonate today. Yet, questions linger. Did Michael ever find true happiness? Could the fame he craved as a child ever compensate for the pain it caused him? His life was like a fairy tale, one filled with both light and darkness, the story of a boy who longed for love, but instead received a world of isolation and misunderstanding. His influence lives on. New generations of artists continue to be inspired by his style, his music videos remain the gold standard, and his name still echoes in the hearts of millions. Michael Jackson isn't just a star, he's a legend who taught us to dream, to dance, and to believe that we can change the world. And now, the stage is yours. What Michael Jackson song touched your heart the most? Can fame ever bring true happiness, or is it just an illusion? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like if this story made you feel something real.